The Diary of a Certified Psychopath. 28th of September, 2021. Shower dodging. Rather unfortunate how it only takes a smattering of moderate squalls to turn 80% of the roads around here into free-flowing rivers. One really wouldn't think that a significant portion had been resurfaced mere months ago. The first cloudburst occurred 5 minutes into this ride, just as I passed Beach Green, and would have persuaded me to abandon proceedings were it not for the inconvenience of returning home, having to remove an ensemble of very carefully appointed attire, then immediately be obliged to hammer away on Zwift for an hour, knowing that I still had a full complement of real-life challenge miles to account for, and scarce time to sandwich them between duties later in the day. Hence, this fleeting nocturnal bout of restless leg syndrome instantly evolved into a conundrum of establishing the safest and most efficient way of racking up miles whilst remaining within dashing distance of a bus shelter. The solution? Stick to where there are street lamps. And incidentally, to any locals, it's the grey bin this morning. 29th of September, 2021. If it don't get easier by default, why make it harder by design? The sight of silver clouds through my window streaking across a radiant blue sky served to vividly indicate both the direction and velocity of today's much chillier westerly, and influence my decision to base the vast majority of this errand-related escapade within the sanctuary of the suburbs. At the very least I could then discover whether there were any roads, streets, drives, avenues, crescents or closes that were somehow eluding the chaotic and undignified scramble for this country's latest and supposedly scarcest commodity. My Garmin had barely established its bearings before an intrepid mountain biker flew past, arrayed in baggy cotton shorts and a tank top. Whilst many might claim that it's both character-building and spiritually rewarding to put a happy face, or a smiley emoji, or indeed a positive spin on proceedings, there can be no denying that the last few outings have been little more than exercises in wind, rain, traffic, cold, hazard, and general pain and misery avoidance. And no sooner had the very first gusty uppercut of that brutal breeze staggered me to a virtual standstill than I wanted to smash its grinning, blustery face in. So, why, you may well ask, do I still do it? Quite simply because I can't not. And if I didn't bother, then I couldn't tell you that there were an encouraging number of roads managing to remain relatively quiet, or that this route contained only 2 sets of traffic lights, not including the temporaries. 30th of September, 2021. Tai FN, September. On this morning's plain-clothed potter to the 3rd nearest pillar box, on a 2016 Cannondale Synapse, under what contemporary cycling's scientific contingent would probably define Zone 2 effort, it took me 7.5 minutes to travel from my front door around one corner and 3 kilometres west to what is technically the end of my road. According to Strava's now indigenous atmospherics data, this was against a west-southwest wind of approximately 18 kilometres per hour, which, I can tell you, was of the non-gusty variety. At 1 p.m, roughly 8 hours later, arrayed mostly in 2 or 4-year-old semi-skin-hugging half-wind-cheating garments composed of several patented concoctions of super-stretchy fabrics, by the same aerobic exertion, but this time seated on a vintage Softail Ibis silk tie mountain bike, I took 3 whole minutes longer to reach the same destination, and again, based on Strava's native weather readings, this journey was also hindered by a headwind, though one of almost exactly double the velocity and a far more blustery nature. The latter run's significantly slower pace was due to one pivotal factor besides that of a stronger headwind and a heavier, less aerodynamic bike, namely that I took the disgruntled London cabbies route to point B. And after an equally convoluted preamble, I arrive at the point of this post, which was to emphasise that today concluded the first complete month of my personally accounting for Strava's real-life distance challenge. and I thought it would be an appropriate time to sift through an abundance of data recorded by my faithful Garmin Phoenix and assimilated by the platform's fathomless servers, with an aim to conduct what will hopefully prove an insightful, though not excessively forensic, comparative study incorporating a selection of juicy statistics extracted from several recent rides. As I'm not likely to have anything more interesting to type about tomorrow, please ensure your eyes stay peeled for the next instalment, illustrated by 1 or 2 brightly coloured bar charts, from the witching hour onwards. The 3rd of October, 2021. Twilight's tranquillity. The signs were ominous upon setting off, with the westerly horizon starkly divided into a blanket of black cloud and a gauzy curtain of poised drizzle, veiling a sheet of luminous sky within, as if hustling the sun to bed almost as briskly as hordes of Sunday motorists scramble back to their grim grey metropolis following their weekend's seaside staycation. Had those showers persisted, or swelled into torrents, I would never have risked the raucous A-Road roller coaster from Washington to Worthing, but as darkness descended, so did the bluster subside, and the rain relent, evoking that welcome and stirring rise in temperature that so frequently follows squally laments, and with which all athletes with a perpetual penchant for the bracing outdoors shall doubtless be familiar. A natural sensation that evolves sanctuary from peril, supplants outward stress with inner peace, and makes home feel so much closer. Signals courteously green throughout my concluding coastal canter, always satisfying, and air still bereft of winter's frigid sting, requiring neither gloves nor mid-layer insulation, though with abundant evidence that autumn does not intend to relinquish its golden brown embrace, I shall soon be resuming my search for the perfect off-season synergy of thermally optimized fabrics.